What's up, guys? Erebus here with another Dark Souls 3 video. This one's going to be a little bit different. I went back to good old Pontiff area for some fight clubbing with a buddy of mine, and just thought some of this footage was interesting. So, first of all, I'm participating in the fight club. It's about a meta level, I believe. I think my buddy who was the host was meta. I am over-leveled, so disclaimer. That is true, because I complain about over-leveled phantoms. So, you know, in the interest of not looking like a liar, full disclosure, I'm over-leveled. Yeah, so it's just, I kind of wanted to get a feel again for what it's like, you know, here at the Pontiff area versus, you know, using the undead arena, which actually, realistically, it seems like this area at a lot of times is more populated than the arena. But at any rate, this is the problem with trying to duel at Pontiff, is now some sort of fight has broken out here. So what is essentially happened is nobody would come fight me. So the dual sword guy backstabbed the mace man. And I'm just forcing people for funds. But he backstabbed the mace man to get him into the arena, and instead the mace man wanted to fight. So then he got ganked. I guess that's just kind of how it went. Kind of a weird situation. But now you see that situation's concluded, and still no one is going to the arena. They're just being weird. Purple's, you know, kneeling in loyalty to my host. Orange was just standing in my face for a while. Just a lot of weird shit going on. Then we get this curved sword guy. And the same continues. And now, good old, you know, it's Dark Souls. What would it be if not sexual humor? Oh, I can smell the demonetization. That's fine. Wouldn't have been monetized in the first place. But at any rate, just some clowning around. And this is just kind of what fight clubs devolve to a lot nowadays. Though then out of nowhere, this one decides they would like to kill me. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what's going on here. But I'm getting out of dodge. And then I'm getting the bait parry. My buddy immediately comes in with the point down before they're even dead. And some nice applause. And still not back to the fight club. We are still just whatever this is. And that's honestly why I'm fast forwarding. This is such a long section of frickin' nothing happening. That is just annoying. So at one point, you know, these guys were gonna fight. Now they're not. So just more confusion and more kind of dicking around. So I don't even really know what to say at this point. This guy apparently pissed somebody off, the red, because the purple and the orange were ganking him as well. So I gave him a surprise backstab. I don't know. This pair is very interesting, the orange and the purple. I don't know what's happening with them 90% of the time, to be honest. But now, the mace guy is back. And so, try-hard mode becomes activated, apparently. Now, I just would have been a, you know, forgive and forget sort of guy myself, but these two are not playing that way. They decide they're teaming on him again. And, I mean, at least there's a fight, I guess, but it's kind of odd that it's, you know, 2v1 here. And Mace Man wrecks the orange guy. So good for him. And as far as I know, I have not seen him heal at all. He's taking this like it's a duel and just fighting two people. So good on him. Now it looks to an extent like we're back into a Fight Club. Even though it didn't start that way. It at least has the appearance now. He's shooting some little pew-pew spells to just try to take off the last sliver of health. And gets it. So he won. Good on him. And gives a very strong point down. Since he was pointed down at as well. And so now I'm thinking, okay, Fight Club resumes. Mace Guy's here. He'll fight. We've got some new people around here. Everything can go back to normal. And, of course, that's normal for a Fight Club with all the haze and whatnot going on. So the fight does resume. Or the Fight Club, rather, does resume. And, yeah, it's not going to get interesting for another couple seconds here. Oh, look who's coming back. It's the Orange Bro. Now, he sees that the Mace Guy is still here. And as soon as that Curved Sword guy is dead, he is just leaping right in there. You might have heard me in the original audio there, calling him an eager beaver. Just looking at him just launching right in there. He is pissed that he lost the 2v1. And I wasn't really paying attention at the time, and I haven't really paid attention this time either. I don't know if he was getting hit by the purple, and vice versa if he was hitting the purple so that it was causing some trouble. Or if they just both honestly lost and it induced rage mode. Whatever it happened to be, this guy was mad. And he took him down, gave him the strongest point down. So it's just, this area after Pontiff is just weird now. But I actually then got to fight this chap who did witness some of those events. I wasn't really part of it, but witnessed it. And I'm going in with my greatsword. Now, this was my original character, the first character that I ever made in Dark Souls 3. And I loved the Lothric Knight greatsword. It is painful. It hits really hard. Now, granted, it can be easy to counter if you have certain techniques on lock, including like the unlocked backstab, pivot backstabs. There's ways to counter it for sure, and pretty strong ways to counter it. But if you try to fight it without those techniques, it can be pretty devastating. This chap here just couldn't really do anything. Every time he would come in for a swing, I would just out-trade him, which is what Ultra Greatswords are for, really, is trading. But I am one-handing it and also using my shield here because, as you've probably learned by now, I'm a complete parry king. So I'm always looking for an opportunity to parry. Mainly because I think it's funny. And that's also why I have my Thrall hat on here, is because I'm looking to have a good time. I'm not taking this too seriously. It's Pontiff dueling. Just here to have fun. So, fighting this chap with the Astora, I go ahead and swing through the weapon art, which I wouldn't originally have thought that I could do, but I did. And so now he's not got a lot left. And I know he's going to try for a desperate attack here. It's a running attack, which is beneficial for me. Throw out the parry, get the riposte. And Host instantly comes over with the point down for some reason. Sometimes being a parry king is a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Honestly, this is a moment when it went well for me. Now I see this guy switching between two-handing and the shield. I'm just going to wait because I wanted that opening move. Because that I can parry very consistently. And that was it. Just a very quick match. So now we're going to have a succession of matches, I believe, taking place. These were pretty much all, I think, in the same day. Maybe it was over 2 days. I don't remember for sure. But yeah, just gonna have a succession of matches here. This guy's pulled out the Gundyr Halberd, which I'm very excited about. I want that Champion's Charge to happen, which at first it does not, sadly. He's just trying to outspace me, and to his credit, right here, he does a great job of it. But he tries to follow up with the charge, and that was a bad idea. Don't quite one-shot him because he's got tears as well. I do have a straight sword, and I also have Church Guardian shivs, so it's really just a matter of hitting him with one or the other. I mean, at this point, there's really no comeback for him. My health is almost full. And I do have some passive regen on this character. It's a faith-based character, so I have a Blessed Shield, and I believe a Blessed... Yeah, the Lothric Knight Greatsword is Blessed as well. So my health was almost full, and I have passive regen. There's not much to... You can't wait me out, essentially. You have to come in and take me. So now we're going to deal with this chap with his scythe. Now he does get that early backstab right there. Now I see that damage though, and I'm not too concerned. I don't know what is going on with that weapon. If it's that's just scythes, because I don't really use scythes hardly ever. So that could just be a typical damage output, or if it's not upgraded very far. But I see that damage and I'm not real worried. Now he pulls out the katana, and now he's just being kind of a bit of a troll, honestly. A bit of a meme. But he goes back to the scythe, which I'm not very afraid of for the most part. I'm a little bit concerned about the backstabs, but, you know, that's true of any weapon that he pulls out. But there he decides he's going to trade with me. I see the shield, so I switch to two-handed in case he's going to try to parry. I don't know if he's going for parries or not, but there you see I did the stomp move, but then not the full weapon art, just a stomp into the R1. That's a good trick with these Ultra Great Swords, because the stomp does give you some additional poise and hyper armor, even if you don't go into the weapon art. And the timing is completely different on the weapon art than the R1. So if somebody sees the stomp and they go to reaction roll it, you can often catch them with that R1. Now this chap, I will say, I think I fought him 4 times. I don't remember if it was 3 or 4 times I fought this guy. And in the interest of full disclosure, I didn't record all the fights. I mainly recorded like highlight footage, things that I would actually want to include in videos and whatnot. But in the interest of full disclosure, he beat me every time we came across each other, because he's out trading me, just plain and simple. He's got the Black Knight sword. He's using Perseverance, and he's out trading me. And it took me until this point in time to realize that I needed to back up when he used Perseverance, get out of it. Because I couldn't trade with it. So anyway, like I said, I won that one, but I had fought him like 3 times before this, I think, and he beat me every time. So, full disclosure. Now this is another buddy of mine who might appear in other videos. I'm not sure yet, but this is another buddy of mine. He's, to be fair, trying out a new build. He just kind of came for funsies like the rest of us. And trying out something different. I forget what build he was going for here. But yeah, so different sort of build, different weapons and whatnot. Depending on what he uses, we actually fight a lot, me and that guy. Depending on what he uses, he either destroys me repeatedly, or I'll do the same to him. More often than not, he destroys me though. He's a lot better at this game than I am. Starting off here with the point up from this chap over here. I'm not sure if he's just goofing off and being a weirdo, or if he's irritated. I really don't know. But whatever the case, I switched to my straight sword because I don't think I'm going to be able to catch him with the Ultra Great Sword. So I switched to straight sword, and shield. Then I see that he's pulled out the parry tool. So then I decide I'm going to risk it and try to connect with him with the Ultra Great. And luckily I'm able to, because he's using a lot of melee spells, which that does require him to come in. And then there at the end it was just poor spacing on his part. With a bit of phantom range, because Ultra Great Swords have some phantom range in some situations. But at any rate, that was just kind of a marathon that I had that I thought was kind of fun and interesting and cool. After that I kind of sat out, let some other people have a chance. This last clip is not a fight club. You will notice that my downscaling is gone. That's because this is a non-password red soapstone. I put my red sign down without a password at my level just to see who was here. And we've got a chugger. A chugger and an L1 spammer. So, you know, these sorts of things happen at every level. I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest. I don't remember exactly what level I'm at here. I think I'm around 400 on this character, so it's very high level stuff, but not quite as high as I want to be. This is the character that I want to take to max level, just to have a max level character to mess around with. But yeah, it's not just low level people who play like this. It's anybody who's just not really a PvPer. And the thing is, at high level, a lot of times people are not typically PvPers because there's not a lot of people at those levels. You know, that's kind of why the joke exists about over-leveled phantoms a lot of the time being unused to PvP, because they're over-leveled for where they're at in their own game as well. But you know, it's fine. It's just, it is what it is. You know, I would not recommend ever taking a character to this high of a level if you only have one or a couple characters. You know, if you're going to max out how many characters you can make in Dark Souls, then sure, go for it, but otherwise probably not worth your time. Now, I'd taken my straight sword off here, unfortunately, so I couldn't chase this guy down very well. But you'll see I've punished a couple of his Estises with backstabs. So that's something. But he just keeps on with the L1 spam. Now, originally I wanted to beat him without healing at all, but I wasn't able to. Just not that talented, I guess. At least not so far. He starts using Undead Honor Charms. There's no honor in any part of this battle, and that's fine too, I guess. I don't know why you would summon a Dark Spirit, you know, for a duel to not duel. This plays out much more like an invasion. But that's fine. Send this guy to the moon, and this time I'm not going to let him heal. So, considered very strongly pointing down at him, but instead I just give him a nice applause. Nice try, buddy. And yeah, so Pontiff was always a bit of a weird area. It's even weirder now. So just know that if you go there. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching.